From Queens to the Tower, the rise of a brand. I am glad to welcome you to our channel. Today's story is about a person who achieved greatness in our time and became famous throughout the planet. He is one of the most recognized figures of the 21st century, praised by millions, criticized by millions more, but never ignored. A businessman, television personality, and a political hurricane who became the 45th and later the 47th President of the United States. This is the true story of Donald John Trump, a man whose journey from the outer boroughs of New York to the White House defied all expectations. Born on June 14, 1946 in Queens, New York, Donald Trump was the fourth of 5 children in a wealthy family. His father, Fred C. Trump, was a successful real estate developer known for building affordable housing across New York City. His mother, Mary Ann McLeod Trump, had emigrated from Scotland in her youth. As a child, Trump showed energy, assertiveness, and at times, defiance. His parents enrolled him at the New York Military Academy at the age of 13 to instill discipline. There, Donald excelled, becoming a student leader and an athlete, developing the competitive spirit that would define his career. After graduating, he attended Fordham University, then transferred to the Wharton School of Finance at the University of Pennsylvania, where he earned a degree in economics in 1968. That same year, he joined his father's company, Elizabeth Trump and Son. By 1971, Donald had taken over operations and rebranded it as the Trump Organization. While Fred Trump focused on outer borough housing, Donald turned his attention to Manhattan, a move that would shape his destiny. His first major success came with the transformation of the aging Commodore Hotel into the Grand Hyatt, followed by the construction of Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue, completed in 1983. The building, with its mirrored glass facade and luxury interiors, became a symbol of 1980s opulence and put Trump on the map as a bold and fearless developer. Over the next decade, the Trump name would appear on casinos, hotels, office towers, and even an airline. He wrote a best-selling book, The Art of the Deal, in 1987, where he introduced the world to his brash confidence and negotiation tactics. His public persona, part real estate mogul, part celebrity, was cemented. His appetite for expansion, however, sometimes exceeded the market's capacity. He acquired the Eastern Air Shuttle and turned it into Trump Shuttle, which operated for a brief but turbulent period before being sold. He also launched ventures like Trump Steaks and Trump Vodka, both of which saw limited success and were discontinued. These forays, while often criticized, underscored his belief in branding and his willingness to experiment across industries. Trump also began acquiring golf courses across the U.S. and internationally, which would eventually become a core pillar of the Trump Organization. His luxury golf clubs in Scotland, Ireland, and Florida gained worldwide attention and became part of his presidential narrative. But while the Trump brand soared, the financial pressures of overexpansion caught up with him in the 1990s. Several of his ventures, including his casinos in Atlantic City, filed for bankruptcy. Many doubted he could survive. Yet Trump navigated these challenges with characteristic confidence. He renegotiated debt, sold off non-core assets, and leveraged his media visibility to stay relevant. His ability to rebound from near collapse reinforced his image as a fighter, willing to take risks and face adversity head-on. But Donald Trump wasn't finished, not even close. Celebrity, power, and the presidency. Trump's recovery was as spectacular as his rise. In the 2000s, he restructured his debts, launched new real estate ventures, and returned to the public spotlight. In 2004, he became a television icon through the hit reality show, The Apprentice. Millions tuned in to hear his famous line, "You're fired!" And the show further elevated his status as a symbol of business success. The show not only boosted Trump's brand, but also introduced him to a new generation of Americans. For over a decade, Trump maintained a strong presence in the entertainment world, making appearances on news shows, hosting beauty pageants like Miss Universe, and even considering runs for office as early as 2000. By the early 2000s and 10s, Trump had become increasingly involved in politics, frequently appearing on cable news shows and questioning President Barack Obama's citizenship, an accusation widely criticized but that kept Trump in the headlines. On June 16, 2015, Trump descended the golden escalator in Trump Tower to announce his candidacy for President of the United States. With bold promises, provocative language, and a populist message, he declared he would make America great again. While many in the media dismissed his campaign as a sideshow, Trump resonated with a segment of voters who felt left behind by globalization and Washington elites. He surged through the Republican primaries, defeating seasoned politicians like Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, and Ted Cruz. In the general election, he faced former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in what would become one of the most divisive and dramatic elections in modern U.S. history. Against most predictions, Trump won the 2016 election, securing the Electoral College with 304 votes and becoming the 45th President of the United States. His presidency was anything but conventional. Trump implemented sweeping tax reforms, prioritized deregulation, and renegotiated major trade deals, including replacing NAFTA with the USMCA. He appointed 3 Supreme Court justices, shifting the balance of the court for a generation. On foreign policy, he withdrew from the Paris Climate Accord and the Iran nuclear deal, imposed tariffs on China, and held unprecedented summits with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. Domestically, he pursued strict immigration policies, built sections of a border wall, and emphasized a platform of America First. Trump also focused heavily on reshaping the federal judiciary, appointing more than 230 federal judges during his first term, a move that will influence American law for decades. But his term was also defined by constant conflict with the media, the Democratic Party, and even members of his own administration. He was impeached twice by the House of Representatives, first in 2019 over the Ukraine scandal, and again in 2021, following the January 6th Capitol riot, a violent attack by his supporters after he claimed the 2020 election had been stolen. Though he was acquitted both times, Trump left office in 2021 under intense scrutiny. Yet again, he defied expectations. In 2024, Donald Trump made an unprecedented comeback, defeating sitting President Joe Biden to become the 47th President of the United States, and the first president since Grover Cleveland to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. Even his critics were forced to admit Trump was not a political phase. He was a movement. The man behind the brand, unknown facts and legacy. Now, let's dive into some lesser-known and surprising facts about Donald Trump. Details that reveal the man behind the media image. Despite his wealth and indulgent persona, Trump doesn't drink or smoke. His brother, Fred Jr., died from alcoholism, a tragedy that deeply impacted him and led to his lifelong abstention from alcohol. He's a germaphobe. Trump often avoids handshakes and has publicly expressed concern about hygiene, even admitting he prefers fast food due to its cleanliness standards. The Trump name appears on over 500 business entities. However, not all are owned or operated by him. He often licenses his name for branding purposes, sometimes with little involvement in the operations. Trump has made cameos in more than 20 films and TV shows, including Home Alone 2, Zoolander, The Little Rascals, and Sex and the City. He received a Hollywood Walk of Fame star in 2007, not for politics or business, but for his success with The Apprentice. Trump has authored more than a dozen books, some of which, like Think Big and Time to Get Tough, offer insight into his business and political ideology. He is the first U.S. president without prior military or government service, a distinction that both fueled his outsider appeal and attracted criticism. In addition to his business and political ventures, Trump has maintained a keen interest in media strategy. He was among the first political figures to utilize Twitter as a direct communication tool, bypassing traditional media. His tweets often made headlines and shaped entire news cycles. As of today, Donald Trump remains one of the most polarizing figures in modern politics, with approval and disapproval ratings that often reach historic highs and lows. Love him or hate him, Donald J. Trump's impact on business, media, and politics is undeniable. He changed how campaigns are run, how presidents communicate, and how Americans see leadership. His story is not just about wealth or fame. It's about the power of branding, the strength of conviction, and the unpredictable tides of democracy. Thank you for your attention. If you found this story intriguing, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment about what surprised you the most. Whose life story should we explore next? Let us know in the comments below. See you in the next episode. And as always, stay curious.